All right, good evening, everyone. This is the Town Plan and Zoning Commission meeting. I'm Shannon Rutherford, the town planner. We're going to start with a roll call of the members. Matthew Bandel,
Here.
Robert Canto,
Here.
Rogia Afshar,
Present.
Scott Halstead,
Here.
and I will note for the record, regular members David St. Germain and Liz Sanford are absent. And we have Mike Tucci,
Here.
Bruce Polsky,
Here online.
perfect, and also noting for the record, Kyla Zimmerman is absent. Okay, Mr. Chair, it is all yours.
All right, thank you, Shannon. So let's take care of a little absent commissioner business. Mike, are you okay voting in place of
Yes,
Liz tonight? Thank you. And Bruce, you're okay voting in place of Dave St. Germain?
I am.
Okay, great. Thank you too. All right, new business items. First one is BB Development LLC sign application for development located at 368 Plainville Ave.
Okay, I think we've got, Chris, are you doing the presentation online?
Yes, I will be.
Go right
So,
ahead.
thank you
Well,
for
Mike.
your time tonight. Our sign application is for 368 Plainville Ave. It's a Go Happy gas station. Our application consists of 4 items. The first is a monument sign. The second and third are building signs. And lastly, the fourth is the dispenser imaging. So to start, we are proposing a 5x5 monument sign for the price sign. It will be on a 1-foot base in a landscaped area. The sign will be non-illuminated. It will be exterior illuminated with 2 spotlights on each side of the sign. And here's an example of what we are proposing. The next sign would be the building sign over the front entrance. It's a 12-foot by 4-foot, 48 square foot, non-illuminated face that says Go Happy Martin Calf. On the left side of the building, we're proposing a slightly smaller sign. It'll be 10 feet wide by 3.5 feet tall. Again, non-illuminated. Both the building signs will have exterior gooseneck lights on them. And here's an example of what we are proposing. Here's a rendering just showing based on our lighting study that was performed. Our last part of our application is the dispenser imaging. There's going to be 4 dispensers on the property and each one will be slightly different. This is for the 3+1, which would be 3 grades of fuel plus 1 diesel pump. This is a 3+1+1. So both the dispensers have the Go Happy on the bottom doors. This one will have racing fuel and diesel. So that's why you have the blue on the left and then the green and then the orange for the Go Happy.
Anything else you need to share with the commission regarding the application?
I don't think so. If anybody has any questions.
Okay, appreciate the presentation. Let's check with the commissioners. Matt, any questions?
No questions.
Bob?
No questions.
Roja?
Thanks for your presentation. Just a quick question. Is this whole thing identical to what you already have on Route 4?
It's very similar, but slightly different.
Okay. Thanks. No more questions.
Mike?
No questions.
Bruce?
No questions here.
Yeah, I think I'm all set as well. Oh, actually, I had one question. On the monument sign, is it, I may have missed it, 1 or 2 lights?
2 lights on each side of the sign.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair, can we confirm the applicant's okay with the items to consider on page
Yes.
2 of the agenda?
Yep. Are you okay with the items that were listed in the agenda review? Items 1 through 6?
Absolutely. We're going to modify one light to make sure it's 100 watt. And second, make sure before we finalize the placement of the monument sign, do a field review with the town.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, we get a motion in a second.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the sign application by BB Development LLC for development located at 368 Plainville Avenue as presented.
Second.
Everybody know what they're voting on? Ready to vote?
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time tonight.
All right, item number 2, FHDC, review and comment on the study report from the Farmington Historic District Commission Study Committee.
End up all the attachments except the map, I think. Missed putting it in. Okay, that's helpful.
Hmm.
All right, let me open up, this, I'm gonna do the presentation on this, Mr. Chair, so
Okay,
I apologize. I
no, that's fine.
missed the map, so. I'm just gonna use the GIS for now, and then if we need to, I can, or not. Let's try- Yeah, let's try this again.
Uh-oh.
Map was in the attachments today.
No, I know, but I did not load
Oh,
it with my AV drive, so I'm
Okay.
gonna have to, so we're gonna do this then. Going to. I was just gonna go to the GIS, but
Yeah,
apparently the.
apparently you're
GIS
not. Yeah.
Apparently not tonight.
This is
So that's
the old
okay.
school.
Application docs. There we go, the expansion map. In the case of a picture's worth 1,000 words, generally. So there are 2 properties being added to the Farmington Historic District. 1 Mountain Spring Road and 729 Farmington Avenue. Both properties are currently owned by the Farmington Historic Society. And they just purchased 729 Farmington Ave. You may recall they were in recently
Yep.
for the special permit. They're moving their headquarters there. So Garrett did the report for us, and we have the full history of each of the properties. They've been reviewed with the town historian as well as obviously the Farmington Historical Society. So with respect to accuracy and architectural details, there's inventories on both buildings. So we had that reference as well from the library. These have been to the State Historic Preservation Office, and SHPO was able to accommodate these on their agenda last week on February 5th. They were both approved with SHPO last week. So what we're looking for this evening with this commission and this review is a positive referral back to the Farmington Historic District. The Farmington Historic District will hold a public hearing within the next month or so on this for the actual addition of these into the district. And then it goes to town council for a modification of the town ordinance to formally adopt these 2 parcels into the Farmington Historic District. So we got a couple of months yet, but this is one of the first steps, is being here with you. This is also, this whole report and all the documents were shared with town council on an information basis, understanding that this will be coming to them in 3 to 4 months, hopefully before the summer hiatus.
Mhm.
That's what the goal is. So if there's any questions on process, questions on the homes, I'm happy to address anything.
Matt, we'll go through commissioners quick.
I think it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised I wasn't part of it.
Agreed.
Oh,
Which this one?
Yeah, I was just assumed it was.
Right.
Everything else in that area is.
Yeah.
so,
oh, around you, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, no questions. Makes sense to me.
Bob?
Yeah, no questions.
Rosia?
No questions, thanks.
Mike?
Yeah, I completely agree with what Matt said. No questions.
Bruce?
I support it too, no questions.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too, Shannon. So
Perfect. Okay.
we need a
I'll
motion.
Vote for positive referral.
Yeah, motion for a positive referral, right? And a second, please.
I'd like to make a motion for a positive referral on the study report from Farmington Historic District Commission Study Committee.
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Great, thank you.
Absolutely. All right, then we have one application from Richard Jones to accept for March 24th. A motion, a second, please.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the application by Richard Jones for change of zone from CR to C1 special permit and site plan approval to construct 3 contractor storage buildings on lot 8556 New Britain Avenue. Schedule a public hearing with a recommended hearing date of March 24th, 2025.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. All right,
Moving
off to
right-
you, Shannon.
So, yes, back to me.
Yep.
Planners report, we have Westwoods Upper Elementary School, the playground proposed. So playground proposed at the rear of the school, right up tight to the school in one of the existing building alcoves. The preschool, so this you can see at the rear, so it's got the wooded, it's got the walkway that goes all the way around the school, and this is just a photo, I believe, from the second floor looking out. This is where the playground would be located. This is from the lower level looking out. And here's an aerial view. So you've got the double drop-off parking lot on the left-hand side of this photo. The main buildings of Westwoods, the playground that's to the south side of the building for the 5th and 6th graders. And then the preschool is part of the redistricting and moving and the shuffle that's going around the preschool. All preschool is going to be located at Westwoods. So now they need an appropriate 3 to 5-year-old playground
Yep.
to accommodate our preschool there. So it's going to be located in this portion of the building. It is open. They've had some coordination already with the fire marshal with respect to the type, because the playground area will be gated, but this also on the lower level serves as an emergency egress.
Mhm.
They've spoken to the fire marshal. They're working with him on the appropriate gate mechanisms and path, et cetera. So there's that is being addressed and looked at. Bruce discussed this with the Wetlands Commission last Wednesday, as pretty much on plan that to the right-hand side in the wooded area, there's wetlands anywhere from 20 to 50 feet off the edge of that rear walkway. So again, because this was all up tight to the building, the Wetlands Commission did not have any issue. It's all an area that has been disturbed. It's got sidewalk there anyway. So, this is what we're looking at. Here's a schematic of the type of playground and type of equipment that will be used. It'll have a mulch surface. And so if there's any concern, I let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to let them go right ahead to building permit. I didn't really see a need for a formal site plan application for this. I'll agree. I'm getting head nods all around.
Yeah, makes sense.
Perfect.
But Shannon, the mulch area, is that gonna be impervious?
No, it'll be pervious. We
taken out
might
and
have,
blacked
have to work with them to get some under drains in there so that it'll drain out. I think there's already an under drain in there, so we might have to work with that a little bit.
Yep.
So that it'll drain out, but I believe, it'll drain out to the wetland area.
Mm.
Why are they moving it out of Irving A? Do you know?
Oh, so right now, there's a preschool in almost every elementary school. So Irving Robbins has some, Noah Wallace has at least 2, if not 3 classes. West District has had one. So as part of what has prompted this is East Farms elementary school was at capacity.
Yep.
And so trying to figure out how best to accommodate this. So there was the redistricting subcommittee. And then there were two options that were brought forth, or a preferred option to Board of Ed and was voted on, I believe, last spring. And this was the preferred option, was to move to consolidate the preschool at Westwoods. What that did was open up some room at Noah. And so we're gonna shift some of the East Farms kids to Noah. And then as needed, some of the Noah is gonna shift to Westwoods. And there might even be a little bit of a shift with Union School as well. But I think the biggest shift of my recollection is between East Farms and Noah,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
that that accommodation can be made, which it happens
Mhm.
every so often, right? The neighborhood between new development
Yep.
and neighborhood shifts as neighborhoods cycle through
Yep.
the age range of the children, and
Yep.
then you get the new families that backfill in. They've got to reshuffle where that line is a little bit.
It's pretty wild. When I moved to town, East Farms was actually closed.
Yeah.
for-
Yeah,
for
that's, I
kids.
had a friend that grew up here that yeah, it was closed at one point.
Yep.
So,
So, cool.
okay, all right, so we will let them go to building permit with that. Okay, next up is something that just came in. I think it should be fairly straightforward. This is the gas station right at the end of Route 4 as you are headed in, right before you get to West Hartford. You're crossing into the West
Oh,
Hartford
yeah.
town line. And you've got the reservoir coming up
Yep.
on the left, so it's this gas station. They want to add a generator, emergency backup generator to the property. They were initially proposing it in this location, kind of the northwest corner off the rear corner of the building. I've asked them to relocate it to, or the rear, to keep at least to a 15-foot setback off of the building, or off of the property line, excuse me. It's in the B1 zone, so any of the hard elements with respect to a commercial property should adhere to that 15-foot setback. I did take a look at the noise information, and the noise is 64 decibels. This is with a soundproof enclosure, and those measurements are taken at 23 feet from the apparatus. So I've got a logarithmic formula that this goes into, that as you double the distance, the decibel level drops by 6. So as you keep getting further away. So the nearest residential property is up into the Oakland Garden neighborhood, about 180 feet away, and it will more than comply with our noise ordinance. What I have asked is hit the setback requirement and add a fence around it, just to buffer a little bit towards the neighborhood, just as an added precautionary. So again, if there's no concern, I was not gonna have them come in for a site plan review for the added generator. Is everyone,
Sounds good to me.
I'm getting head nods again,
Mhm.
all good to just,
Yep.
I'm gonna let that go to building permit then.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. All right, moving right along. Okay, our regulation for food truck is posted. So that is gonna be on, we've got public hearing for the 24th, next meeting. So public hearing on the food truck regulation is the next meeting. Our food truck vendor is very anxious to get started, He submitted his application today. So the Sandy and I are gonna look at a few things to see if there's a way to appropriately accommodate this and timing. Garrett was looking at a few timing things for me as well, but the regulation as it stands is posted. So that's already up on the website. So you should be able to access that at any point, if you want to start a review. We've got planners report, agenda, mobile food vendors. So it's this bottom one here. So the regulation and the registration, the draft registration form are there. Okay.
So Shannon, I just noticed a couple things and I don't know I know we had discussed it, so I don't know if it's too late to add it in or what, but so the umbrellas, I remember we talked about, trying to avoid the easy up type, so we were gonna put something in there saying single pole. Is that too late or?
No, it's not too late. That's the whole point of this. So it does, I think we mentioned umbrellas, but so you want.
It says
single
umbrellas are similar structures, but it doesn't say singular pole, so I don't want them to kind of like
pop-up
stretch
tents.
that definition to pop-up tent, you know what I
Okay.
mean? And I know we had talked about it and you came up with that single pole and I was like, ooh, that's a good idea.
Okay. Single pole. Yep.
And then down at the bottom, I just had, I don't know, maybe I'm reading too far into it. The whole thing about the portalets.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to put a time limit on it? So for example, you say it's going to be serviced no less than once a week.
Yes.
What I'm thinking, and I don't know what this guy has visioned or whatever, but
Well, and this is gonna be for anywhere, right?
right,
So-
right. So he shows up there for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, decides that's not the right area for him. I'm gonna leave, go somewhere else. What happens with that portalet? Is he moving that or, you know what I mean? I just don't want to see that portalet get left there because I'm gonna come back to that spot in 2 weeks. You know
Well,
what I mean?
yeah, no, and that won't, because it's gotta be owner occupied, yeah, I think
Yeah,
we can talk about that,
You know what I'm
sort of
saying? Like,
with
I
the
don't want
hearing.
him to like try this corner this week,
Mhm.
He
leave it
can't,
alone for a
because
week,
it's
try
site-
that
no,
corner. and,
because
you know,
it's site specific. He can't.
The application.
Any
yeah.
applicant can't. So he,
Okay.
she, they can't. It is site specific and it is gonna be tied to a site plan. It's so unless they're gonna spend $210 every time they
They
wanna
want to move, yeah.
hopscotch around.
So
That's
this
not
isn't
how
gonna
this
be
is
parked
written.
on the side of the road type thing. This is gonna
No.
be in a parking lot.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes, it has to have a primary use.
okay.
So it can't even go on a vacant C1 or CR, the way this is written. It
Okay.
has to have a primary use. It
Perfect.
has to have owner permission.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then any restaurant has to,
Yeah, any restaurant within
us.
500 feet also has to concur.
So I had a question on that, because I've seen situations where that 500-foot buffer, not necessarily here, but other uses. Is there a lot of restaurants within these C1 zones that all but eliminate the possibility of
No.
outside 500 feet?
No,
Okay.
no, it wasn't. So, yes, there are times when that's used. Yes, creatively, yes.
Yes.
No, but this is, given that, I guess the point is that somebody that has put the investment into brick and mortar is entitled to the preference
Yeah.
Sure.
and a little bit more security than somebody coming in as a mobile eatery.
so that
Agree
being
with
said,
that.
how does, again, maybe, I know where you're going with it. Maybe I'm overthinking. it. How does that play in with cafeterias? So if you have an outside source running that cafeteria, are they gonna have,
Well, again,
They
it
like
would
to
still
stand
need
by.
owner, you would still, so I'm trying to think of a place that has a cafe, I mean, maybe Trump or EBM Paps does, I don't know, honestly. A lot
like
of-
if they
a lot of
outsource that
corporation- A lot
cafeteria?
of corporations have gotten away
Okay.
from that. I'm not, I mean, the hospital does, but this
Yeah.
wouldn't go on the hospital property.
Right.
So, that's why so the owner sign off is needed, so that the owner, right, the owner presumably isn't gonna do something to the detriment of one of his or her own brick and mortar tenants.
Right.
So that's,
So that would be the owner of the factory or whatever, not.
it would be the property owner.
Sublet, okay.
It would be the
perfect.
property owner.
Okay.
So there's the owner, the property owner has to sign off. And then if the restaurant tenant is a fate, right? Then the restaurant tenant has to sign off as well, a restaurant.
Both do.
So if it's public, right? So a cafeteria typically isn't public access. It's limited to those whom are employed there or people that are there at a conference or whatever.
Right.
So restaurant to me would be a public tenant,
Okay.
like public access. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
So, official public hearing, obviously, on the 24th, so if there's questions as you're going through, feel free to email them through to Garrett and I, and we'll, as usual, synthesize questions and get them back out to everyone. All right,
Mhm.
that's all I got. And the open signs, we're gonna come back up to open signs. He's already started to do a little bit of research and do a little bit of field recon if we get out of this series of snow and shenanigans going on.
Yeah.
So he'll get some field recon. So that'll probably be in the next, I don't know, springtime. We'll tackle it. Okay,
Sounds good.
all right.
Anybody have questions for Shannon?
No, just, I guess I can ask now, on that, for the gas station, the signs of no vendor or no advertising on the bollards and stuff.
Yep.
Is that, are we running into that, like the open signs where people are starting to stretch it? Cause I know I've seen those in a few different spots.
And we gotta remind them when
Oh,
we see them,
okay.
then we go through and remind them that that's gotta come on.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So it's
So
not a
it makes-
grandfather thing, it's just them pushing the limits.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir. I figured if I had it in TPZ minutes, it makes my life a little easier when I've got to issue a reminder.
Gotcha.
So,
Works for me.
All right, let's approve the minutes of the January 27th meeting.
Like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the January 27, 2025 Town Plan and Zoning Commission meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
I was not present. so.
Okay, abstentions.
I got one.
Adjourned.
just one, and we can adjourn.